I was called to the Evolucious Cosmetics testing lab, where a cadre of ecotologists had liberated all the diseased lab animals. It was up to me to save Team Mengele from the makeup-smeared monkey justice.
Alright, so, welcome to the lab. Remember how previously I said the enemy types were largely decided by what guns people have? Well, this time we're introduced to two new enemy types that don't have guns. We're introduced to feral cats that can turn into tornadoes, and we're introduced to evil monkeys. The evil monkeys are by far the most irritating enemies to deal with. Killing them does prevent us from getting the Jesus ending, that being the pacifist ending. So we do have to tase them. The taser is by far the least accurate weapon, and its inaccuracy becomes even more apparent when you're trying to tase really tiny targets like monkeys. It doesn't help that in addition to being tiny targets, the monkeys are hopping all over the place, so you have to wait until they stop hopping. There is a brief period where they quit hopping where it's easier to aim at them, but it's still very difficult. I've gotten pretty good at it, pretty used to it, but if there's any mission that's going to make people go postal, it's probably this one. Because trying to hit these things with the taser is just nonsense. And trying to hit them with other guns is much easier. Here's a cat tornado in action. The cat tornadoes will sometimes kill monkeys and other cats for you, which is a blessing. They're also ecotologists, but they're really not as important as the monkeys, because the monkeys are our objective here. Thankfully, unlike the monkeys, we can give the cats a quick zap and then pick them up. The monkeys, we have to hold the taser on them until they fall over. So yes, in short, this mission is frustrating, but I'm playing it in a method that's intentionally meant to be as frustrating as possible. Normally, you can just shoot the monkeys. On the good path, I want to clarify, people seem to have been confused. On the good path, you can shoot anything the game deems as a bad guy and still get the good ending. That means you can shoot the ecotologists, you can shoot the monkeys, you can shoot the terrorists. You only have to tase everyone if you want the best ending, which is what we're going for. So the way I'm playing the game right now is meant to be as frustrating as humanly possible. It's not really working on me because I know the game wants me to be frustrated, so I refuse to be frustrated. I can get frustrated at games when they don't want me to be frustrated, because, like, at that point I know they're not trying to get to me. But the game's trying to get to me by making these really small, hard-to-hit targets that I have to shoot with the least accurate weapon in the game to get the ending I want. And it doesn't frustrate me because I know that's what the game wants from me, and I refuse to give it what it wants, because I'm just like that. I obsessively do the opposite of what— is that a gas can over there? We need to remember there's a gas can here, because we need gas to get out of here. It's kind of important. Anyway, I obsessively do the opposite of what people tell me to do a lot of the time. There are obvious exceptions, but Postal 3 is not one of those exceptions. Postal 3 is outright foolish to try and irritate me. This is at best a mild irritation compared to some of the games I've played, like Sid the Dummy and Deep Black. This is nothing. If it's not clear by now, there is no rhyme or reason to that scream sound effect. They just do it because it irritates people and gives them a quick scare. Like, sometimes I flinch when that happens because it's just used at such random points in the game, intentionally to bother people. I think that's really a microcosm of Postal 3, is it's there to bother you because it thinks it's funny. But I actually think the game is fun, so I don't think it's working so good. Anyway, you ready for our first boss battle?
I had no idea what these idiots were doing with a fucking rhino, but I wasn't paid to think. One scientist was using some sort of remote-controlled monkey to trick the crazy rhino into bashing his brains out. Seemed like a decent plan. Until he was eaten by a cat. and the baton was passed to me.
Alright, so we're gonna pick up the monkey because I really want the monkey. But, you know, this boss, it actually practically kills itself. You just have to distract it, and then it'll run into something and hurt itself all the time. Like, it practically kills itself with absolutely no input from you. Sometimes you don't even have to hit it first, and it'll bash itself into something. Also, I don't think rhinos work this way, but, you know, maybe it's a reference to the rhino boss fight from Spider-Man 2000. You can look at it that way. But yeah, this boss takes care of itself. Absolutely no issue. If you're wondering, no, you cannot just shoot it with guns because it's invincible to guns. It can't be stopped that way. I mean, it's a cute idea having you lead the monkey around so that way the rhino will run into stuff, but it's so unnecessary because you can just punch it, it'll get mad at you, and then run into crap randomly. And again, sometimes you don't even need to hit it, and it'll run into things just fine. So, you know, whatever. I like the monkeys in these, like, weird test chambers. I know that's the joke, is that this is supposed to be a cosmetics lab, and they're doing horrible things instead. But I still love the image of the monkeys in these weird test tubes. See, that time he just ran into the wall without me doing anything. It's the world's easiest boss fight over here. It's a thing of beauty, really, this boss battle, because some people struggle with it so much. And they're probably trying to play it the way you're supposed to, but all you really have to do is punch the rhino in the ass. And that fixes everything, so, you know.
The rhino was down, but no force on earth could have saved him from the makeup-smeared Champ Justice. Champ, hey boy. Christ, what were those assholes doing to you? I guess nobody's going to miss this cool Motorhead monkey. What with everyone being dead and all.
Cracker Barrel, you look like you need a payday loan, motherfucker. So give me your money, fool, and have a nice motherfucking day.
You do realize I'm a cop, right?
What I understand is that today is payday. Therefore, you got to pay me. If you want, you can give me your teeth as a fucking down payment, fool. Then I'll come find you next week, and I'll take that paycheck, too.
Actually, I believe you're beneath my skill level, stereotypical street thug. Deputy Champ, would you take care of this one?
Ah, shit! Yo, foul bees off me, man! Christ help me, Jesus! I'm gonna die! Mama!
And before I could do anything, Champ had chased the guy out of sight. But I was confident that street thug would not escape justice.
Ah!